What is the best and worst muscle building advice ever? On this video, I want to share with you guys some things that I've heard along the way that just have not served me long term when it comes to longevity and staying in the game and being able to lift consistently. And I think this video is going to really appeal to people who've been in the game for maybe more than 5-10 years, who've experienced a few injuries, who've tried a lot of the different types of advice that are setting you up for more harm than help. There's a lot of bad advice I've received over the years. There's been a lot of great advice, but just to kind of boil it down, the things I want to share with you today are really rooted in safety. They're rooted in longevity, being able to do this into your mid 40s, into your 50s. And I take pride having not ever really been injured from weights. You know, I've had aches and pains and I got to fix things up, but I've never had a real injury in the gym. And that is something that I'm quite proud of. And you can quickly make a case for how you don't push yourself, you don't have big goals. Fair enough. I'm sure I can push myself harder, but that's not the goal. The goal is not to get hurt. So when I think of the best and worst muscle building advice I've ever received, it's going to fall under that umbrella of safety and longevity. So the worst muscle building advice I've ever received has been, do this exercise if you want to build a bigger blank. Do squats if you want a bigger butt, right? We all have been conditioned by clickbait titles and by magazines that there are a list of best and worst exercises. And I want to express how this is, for the most part, not BS, but something I would challenge and open your eyes to. That's like saying there's a best girl for every dude. There is a best guy for every girl. And the truth of the matter is that some women are not meant for certain guys, and vice versa, right? There's certain exercises that are just not going to serve you, and it's because your body has a preferred way to move based on your active and available range of motion, your bone structure, just based on injury history. There's just certain exercises that aren't going to be the best for you. And I think I really fell for, like, you have to do this exercise, shoulder presses, if you want bigger shoulders. You have to do dips if you want bigger triceps. You have to bench press if you want a big chest. And you hear all the stuff like, have you ever seen anybody who doesn't have a big chest that doesn't bench big, right? You hear this stuff all the time and you think, man, I have to figure out how to have a bigger bench. You're not a real man if you can't, deadlift your body weight times 2.5. And there's probably a lot of great wisdom in that for certain goals and certain people, but when you try and build a program around things that do not respect the way your body prefers how to move, you're setting yourself up for an injury. And as soon as you're injured, you can't train. And that is not my goal. I am optimizing for longevity. So this advice is built for people who want to go the distance in the gym. So to flip that, what's the best advice that I've ever heard? It's advice that keeps me injury free. And the best advice I've ever been given is to move slower in the gym. Not to move faster, not to swing the weights, not to get extra reps, not to add extra sets. It's to move slower. Now, why in the world would move slower be the best advice I've ever received? Because when you move slower, you're able to create more time under tension. You're able to contract the muscles harder. You're able to create more stress in the muscles. So the muscle actually experiences more damage. It creates more tension. These are stimulators for muscle growth. Plus, I don't get hurt. If I'm going slower, I can control the weight, all right? And control is the currency of muscle growth, all right? If you can't control it, you can't challenge it. If you can't challenge it, you can't grow it. So I'm huge on really asking myself at any point in the range of motion, if someone said stop, could I in fact stop the weight? Now I get it, maybe 10-20% of the time when you're on those last few reps, that may not be the case, but we want to minimize the amount of exposure that we have to us being unable to control the weight at any range of the motion at any point in the workout. If you can control the weights at any point of the range of motion, you are going to have a long, healthy time in the gym. It's going to be almost impossible to get hurt. And the more time under tension, the more stimulus you can expose your muscles to, the more opportunities for muscle growth. So all you young guys in your 20s and 30s, keep this in mind, right? If you're in your 40s, 50s, and you want to keep lifting, the name of the game is just to stay consistent. I love Lee Haney's advice way back in the day: stimulate, don't annihilate. Stimulate, don't annihilate, right? So for me, when I leave the gym, The goal is to come out of the gym refreshed. It's for the gym to give to me, not to take from me. Now, there were times in my bodybuilding and muscle, building career, if you will, that it was not that mindset. It was go till you blow, need a 2-hour nap after every workout, leave it all on the gym floor, and you definitely make gains. But those were typically when I was a lot younger, the joints were a lot healthier. Now that kind of wear and tear has a price. So I would say that's pretty much it. Best muscle building advice is to go slower, move the weights slower, contract everything slower, all right? Bigger arcs, longer range of motion, go slower. And the worst advice is to try and fit your body into exercises just because of dogma, headlines, so-and-so expert said this was the best, and really ask yourself, am I able to perform this exercise in a way that achieves the goal that I want? For most of us who want to build muscle, it's to create tension. And if we can't create tension and stress and fatigue in a muscle, then you're not doing what the muscle actually needs in order to grow. All right. That's it for now. Keep living large, level up or level off. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.